All right, welcome, fellow detectives. Today, we're taking on a case that baffles millions of us, the great mystery of the dog food aisle. But you know what? We are going to crack it together. So let's get right to the clues. You know that feeling, right? You walk into the pet store, ready to do the right thing for your dog, and bam, you're hit with this massive wall of brightly colored bags. They're all screaming promises at you: health, happiness, a shinier coat. It's just a wall of confusion, and it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. Well, not anymore. Today, you're not just a dog owner, you're a pet food detective, and we are going to arm you with all the tools and the know-how you need to read the evidence and make the absolute best call for your furry best friend. Okay, so every investigation has to start somewhere, and for us, it begins with the single most important piece of evidence we've got: the dog food label itself. This is where companies are forced to tell you the truth. You just have to know how to read it. First thing you're going to see is something called the guaranteed analysis. The easiest way to think about this is that it's just like the nutrition facts panel on your own food. It's giving you the basic numbers, the minimum protein and fat, and the maximum fiber and moisture. This is our first clue about what's really inside that bag. All right, next up, we move to the ingredient list. Now, this is where the real story starts to unfold. The key thing to know is that ingredients are listed by weight. That means whatever you see at the very top of the list makes up the bulk of the food. So pay close attention, because those first few items, they are your most important clues. In fact, here's a simple rule of thumb that every pet food detective should live by. The first 5 ingredients give you a really powerful snapshot of the food's quality. Are they whole, identifiable proteins, or are they kind of vague, processed fillers? This is exactly where you should focus your detective's magnifying glass. Now, before you even get to the ingredients, there's one crucial clue you have to look for. It's the AAFCO statement. It stands for the Association of American Feed Control Officials. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but think of it as an official seal of approval. It's what confirms the food is complete and balanced for a certain life stage, like a puppy or an adult. Seriously, if you don't see this statement, just put the bag down and walk away. So here's a perfect example of what to look for. A good label, a trustworthy label. We'll start with something specific and high quality, like deboned chicken. You know exactly what that is. But a misleading label might use a super vague term like meat and bone meal. What kind of meat? From what animal? You have no idea. Remember, specificity is a huge clue to quality. And by the way, be really careful about marketing trends. For years, grain-free was all the rage, but now science shows that's not always better, and that healthy whole grains are actually great for most dogs. Okay. Now that we know how to read the evidence on the label, it's time to profile the usual suspects. I'm talking about the main types of dog food you're going to find out there. So here's our lineup. First, you've got kibble, right? The classic dry food. It's usually the most budget-friendly, it's super easy to store, and that crunch can actually help with dental health. Then there's wet food. It's got a lot more moisture, which is great for hydration, and let's be honest, most dogs find it way more appealing. It does cost a bit more, though. And finally, you have fresh food. This stuff is made with human-grade ingredients, it's minimally processed, but it's also the most expensive, and you're going to need some space in your fridge. There's no single right answer here. It's all about what fits your budget and your lifestyle. So, we've analyzed the labels, we've profiled the suspects. But every great detective knows that the most important part of any case is understanding the, well, in this case, the client. And that means it's all about your unique dog. First off, let's talk about their age. I mean, think about it. A puppy is building its entire body from scratch. They need food that is packed with calories and nutrients to help them grow. A senior dog, on the other hand, is kind of in maintenance mode. They might need fewer calories and maybe some special ingredients to support their aging joints. Size and breed are also absolutely critical clues. A little Chihuahua has a super fast metabolism but a tiny stomach. A giant Great Dane needs really controlled levels of things like calcium to make sure their bones grow properly and don't get stressed. That's why those breed-specific or size-specific formulas exist. They're designed to tackle these very unique needs. And finally, what's their lifestyle like? Let's be honest, a dog who spends most of the day snoozing on the sofa needs way fewer calories than, say, a working border collie who's out herding sheep all day long. You have to be realistic about your dog's activity level so you don't end up over or under feeding them. All right, detective. You have gathered the clues, you've profiled the suspects, and you've analyzed your client. Now, it's time to put it all together and crack this case once and for all. Here it is, your 4-step action plan, your final verdict. Number 1, always look for that AFCO statement. It's non-negotiable. Number 2, Inspect those first 5 ingredients for quality. Number 3, filter everything you've learned through your dog's unique profile, their age, size, and activity level. And finally, number 4, the masterstroke. Talk about your findings with your veterinarian. They are your trusted expert partner in this whole investigation. So, after all of this, what's the big secret? The main takeaway is this: there is no single best dog food in the entire world. The best food is the one that's nutritionally balanced, made with quality ingredients, and is perfectly suited to your individual dog's needs. Your investigation is always going to lead you to a personal conclusion. You are now equipped to walk down that dog food aisle with total confidence, not confusion. So my final question for you is this: the next time you pick up a bag of dog food, what is the very first clue you're going to look for? The case is officially in your hands.